Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Mainstream Media News. My name is Mainstream Media Jet. The time is coronavirus. Andrew Tait is the most banned individual in the world. That's why everyone in the world knows who he is. Many mainstream media channels have done interviews with him to make sure that he's banned and you don't know who he is. We now go live to every single news channel in the world that's currently talking about him to find out why he's so banned, and the establishment don't want you to find out what his views are. We now go live on the mainstream media to find out what his views are. Thank you very much, David. Andrew Tait was first banned by the establishment back when he was put on a show called Big Brother. Big Brother is an establishment-run show on television that takes nobodies and makes sure that everybody knows who they are. The banning was further increased when he was plastered over every single social media network that are also run and owned and operated by the establishment. He was pictured on all these networks saying the exact sort of thing that the establishment wouldn't want someone to say, cementing in the minds of many, many people in the population that this guy is definitely anti-establishment and is going to be banned. The banning was then further extended to mainstream media when Andrew Tait was invited onto all the major mainstream media shows to tell everyone how banned he was and how nobody knows who he is. This week, the banning of Andrew Tait is thought to have become worse as he's featured in a news story that is at the top of every single internet search engine in the world. Internet search engines are controlled by the establishment, so it's thought that they're definitely trying to ban him by putting him there. The mainstream media were on hand to have giant lights and cameras to record him being arrested in a surprise arrest that nobody knew was going to happen. Footage of the arrest was put onto every single mainstream media news channel in the world to make sure that nobody finds out who Andrew Tait is. The establishment are thought to not be in control of Andrew Tait because he keeps saying stuff they don't want him to say. The establishment have been warned by Andrew Tait that there's no way for them to kill him or stop him because he's so good at kickboxing that they wouldn't be able to. This is true because Andrew Tait is a world champion kickboxer who has defeated such legendary kickboxers as nobody that you've ever heard of, including one guy who had 3 professional fights. Users are advised that Andrew Tait is so banned that you know who he is and you can't move without news for him on any single social media network or mainstream media news channel. It's thought that Andrew Tait is the most Googled man in the world, which is strange because he's banned and no one knows who he is. Last week, things went bad to worse for Andrew Tait, who no one's ever heard of because he's banned, when he had a very public internet spat with the #1 controlled establishment celebrity in the world. Greta Thunberg is a celebrity who everyone knows who she is because she's propagandized across every social media network and mainstream media news channel. So it was all the more bad for Andrew Tait when she publicly quote-tweeted him, telling everyone in the world, of course, who he is. The establishment were thought to be absolutely furious at this and were keen to make sure that Andrew Tait was further banned by ensuring that clips of this were put onto every single controlled establishment celebrity's Twitter feed to make sure that Andrew Tait remained banned. Users across YouTube have constantly done commentary about Andrew Tait and who he is and what he says to make sure that no one knows who he is and that he continues to be banned. The establishment are scratching their heads about how they can ban Andrew Tait, and they continue to try to ban him by putting him on huge interviews across all their controlled celebrity shows, mainstream media networks, and channels. For more on this, we go live to our reporter Susie, who is going to run a 3-hour special on Andrew Tait, everything about him, everything he's ever said. Warning, users have no idea who this guy is and will not be able to find out anything about him, especially after they view our 6-hour report. Jane. Thank you very much, David. My name is Sarah. I'm a mainstream media reporter, and I put my show out to 7.5 billion users worldwide. Andrew Tait is 6'2". He weighs 185 pounds. He is a social commentator. He has lots of businesses. He owns 33 cars. He's a successful man. He shouts at women. He swears, and he makes people argue. Nobody actually knows anything about him at all because he's banned. I'm here to tell you everything the guy's ever done, everything the guy's ever said, and show you footage of him non-stop for 6 hours. Andrew Tate is thought to be censored everywhere across the internet. The following 6-hour show is to make sure that you don't find out who Andrew Tate is. This will be the first ever part of a 6-part series where I go under the skin of Andrew Tate, over the skin of Andrew Tate, and inside the retinas of Andrew Tate to tell you what his blood type is, how much he weighs, how much his fake beard cost, and why he's really a woman. We interrupt this breaking special news report about how nobody knows who Andrew Tate is with a breaking special news 1-hour interview with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was interviewed by establishment toady Piers Morgan for over an hour to make sure that no one finds out who he is. Users are warned that the establishment people in charge of this news program have put cool rock and roll music over pictures of Andrew Tate looking like he's cool in order to make sure that nobody follows him. Piers.
Well, good evening from London and welcome to a special edition of Piers Morgan Uncensored. Andrew Tate, one-on-one. He's the most famous man you probably never heard of, with billions of views online. At one point this year, more people were searching Google for Andrew Tate than Donald Trump or Kim Kardashian. A former professional kickboxer, he was kicked off Big Brother in 2016 after a video emerged of him striking a woman.
As you can see, as part of the continuing establishment campaign to ban Andrew Tate, he featured on Channel 4's Big Brother and in the headlines of the Daily Star newspaper. It's thought if much more censorship happens to Andrew Tate, he may again become the most famous man in the world, which he's become because he's been censored. People that have been banned often become the most known person in the world all the time, and Andrew Tate is thought to be a genuine opposition to the establishment, and people should follow him and believe what he said.
And what they now both claim was a consensual sex game. He's since made millions as a pornographer and casino owner in Romania, but it's his online videos that have made him notorious across the world, posing as a playboy with fast cars, cigars, weapons and cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt the special 1-hour report on how Andrew Tate is banned and no one knows who he is to remind users that Andrew Tate definitely does not sound like a bad actor doing a ridiculous British accent. For more on this, we listen to Andrew Tate as he talks a bit.
Or instruct a female to provide sustenance. Cook.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes.
Tells young men they can get as rich as him by paying for his digital life lessons.
I have 100 business tips I'm going to teach you, which will allow you to make your own money instantly.
But amid global media backlash, the net has closed on Andrew Tate. While millions still share his videos, he's effectively banned from the web.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this establishment toady Piers Morgan broadcast with a special piece of news that has turned out from the broadcast. Andrew Tate's videos are shared billions of times online. This news was brought to light when it was pointed out that Andrew Tate is the most censored and banned figure in the world, despite the fact that his videos are shared billions of times online and on the mainstream media. Users that have pointed out how this doesn't make any sense are invited to kill themselves or shut up and just do what Andrew Tate says. For more on this, we go live again to an establishment toady, Piers Morgan, who's talking to Andrew Tate about how the establishment don't want to put him on the mainstream media Okay?
Booted off Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, you join us live for another special breaking news bulletin report about Andrew Tate, the most banned man in the world. Andrew Tate has been booted off Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. Despite this, if you go on to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, you cannot move for news and information and videos about Andrew Tate. For more on this breaking news story and how it doesn't make any sense, we go live to establishment toady Piers Morgan, who's talking live to Andrew Tate for an hour about how Andrew Tate isn't allowed on the mainstream media. Piers.
To his fans, he's a misunderstood satirist and the victim of big tech censorship. To many others, he's a malicious misogynist. Tonight, I'll try and get to the truth. Well, some of the opinions Andrew Tate shares in his videos are undeniably deeply offensive. We're going to show you some of them on this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this special breaking news report about how Andrew Tate is banned, featuring an hour-long interview on the mainstream media with Andrew Tate, to bring you some breaking news about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate puts controversial videos out that the establishment are trying to ban, and their latest move in trying to ban them is to play them on Piers Morgan Uncensored, a mainstream media channel that gets millions of views because controlled celebrity guests are told to go on there where Piers interviews them. Nobody likes Piers Morgan, nobody views his content, but he constantly gets shows where the world's biggest celebrities are sat there in order to talk to him.
I think you should see them for yourself, not simply hear what he says about them or what other people say about them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we again interrupt this hour-long Piers Morgan special about how no one knows who Andrew Tate is, featuring Andrew Tate in an hour-long interview on the mainstream media, to bring you some breaking news about Andrew Tate, who no one knows who he is. Billboards have been taken over all over New York's Times Square by the establishment with giant pictures of Andrew Tate's face on them that say, "Please don't find out who this guy is because we intend for him to be banned." Users everywhere have been plastered with pictures of Andrew Tate's face saying, "This guy is banned and you don't know who he is. His name is Andrew Tate." For more on this, we go live to the Channel 4 News. Our top story tonight, Andrew Tate, You Don't Know Who He Is, a 5-hour documentary special. Tina.